Special thanks goes out to Jim for his $10 Canadian dollar super thanks. Also, special thanks goes out to Sean Woods for his $2 super thanks. I greatly, greatly appreciate the support, guys. Shout out to the lovely and talented Devin who procured these TikTok videos for me. Let's get started.
If TikTok is showing you this video, you probably need to hear it.
Player
Maybe you
chicks.
seem to always attract bad boys, cheaters, commitment phobes.
Blah, blah, blah.
That used to be me. But
Did
I'll
it
tell
now?
you this wake-up call day that's so embarrassing. One time, well, my parents had just passed away, breast cancer, lung cancer in 1 year. So it was the first Christmas with no parents around. And I had this on-again, off-again playboy who would come into my life and tell me he loved me so much, use my body, disappear. And I decided to go out on a limb and invite him to midnight mass. I was nowhere near family.
well,
I was
how
by
pure of
myself.
you.
He assured me he would be there. And then he stood me up. So the next day, I'm alone in my bathtub crying, and I called him up, and I basically screamed at him, like, why do you do this to me? Why do you come and tell me you love me and then disappear? And he gave me the most stone-cold answer a girl could ever want.
I'm on pins and
He
needles,
said,
please.
Because you let me.
Oh, God.
I
give
know
me
it was
a
super
break.
hard to hear at the time.
Stop the cap.
But I realized
didn't
I
happen,
had to
Wendy.
learn boundaries. I had to move away from people who hurt me. I had to not be in love with hope. I had to find
Blah,
out
blah, blah.
what I wanted and say
Even
no
Walter
to
knows
what
this
I
is
didn't
cap.
want.
Oh, really? Well. This story is all cap. During my player days, when I ghosted or stood a girl up on a date, they would always blow up my phone, I don't know, for like a week, trying to get answers. I never picked up the phone. Maybe a few guys out there do, but most of us don't. What she wanted to say was that the reason men treat women like garbage is because they let us treat them like garbage. She didn't have to make up this, ridiculous story for us to realize that. But she wanted to sound profound and introspective, like this was some revelation that she was just not privy to until that fateful phone call. Celebrity dating coaches like this, they understand that storytelling is one of the most effective ways to get a point across. But she is way too over the top, she is way too theatrical, and way too dramatic, which, of course, is why women eat this stuff up. If you are going to tell stories about your dating life, they've got to be true if you want them to resonate with your audience. No girl has ever called up a guy who got over on her and asked, "Why do you do this to me?" for him to answer, "Because you let me." That's ridiculous. True players know that we never tell the women that we're playing the actual truth about why we move the way we move with them. This would give up the game, and at that point, the jig is up. What I do believe is that she's been ran through by bad boy players. What I do believe is that this guy treated her like garbage. What I don't believe is that this conversation she had with this dude led to some shocking revelation. He didn't help her come to the realization that he treated her like this because she let him. She let it happen again and again and again with guy after guy after guy. And finally it clicked, just like with most modern women. Dr. Wendy Walsh is the kind of dating coach or love guru who speaks a few truths but likes to slip in her womanist beliefs with them. This is called propaganda, as we all know. She would not be as big as she is if she told the whole truth. She's 60 years old, which means she's old enough to know better. She's old enough to know the truth. But like Derek Jackson, Oprah Winfrey, Tyler Perry, and Steve Harvey, she clearly understands that women want fantasy and not reality. Next video.
Men used to care about things that mattered, like class revolution or dismantling the Nazi party. Now all men talk about is how they feel deceived by fat models.
That's a big... fat models.
Like dating models carries an aspirational quality for them, but when that intersects with fat phobia, they're gonna make a podcast about it.
Oh my God.
All I'm gonna say is don't come crying to me when we revert to an agrarian society because capitalism is on its last leg, and your girlfriend can't properly churn butter because she doesn't have the arm girth. Motherfucker. Men used to care about things...
This chick is angry because she's overweight, and the men she wants don't want to date overweight women like her. This chick is a plus-sized catfish. That's all there is to it. If we scroll through her TikTok, you guys can all see that all of her videos are shot from the neck up, which means the rest of her body looks like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. Shout out to Peter Venkman and Slimer. You can tell she just got rejected by a dude who didn't know that she was as big as she was because she's angry about it. Here's another thing. This girl ain't no plus-size model. She's not a model, period. She thinks that because she's slightly below average looking from the neck up and got a few likes on Instagram makes her a model. Sweetheart, A plus-size model is the same as a solar-powered flashlight, a waterproof mop, a skinny dude with six-pack abs, and an overweight woman with huge boobs. They don't exist because they don't count. When she says men used to care about things that mattered, what she really meant was that men weren't so hung up on the way a woman looked, and she's right. Most women back in the day were a healthy weight and maintained a healthy body weight. But because better than 75% of women in this country are overweight or obese, men have to sift through all of that plus-size goodness to find a woman with a healthy body weight. And even when they do, better than 90% of the time, she's monetized. She's sponsored, she's a sugar baby, or she has an OnlyFans. The funniest part of this video is when she acts like she'll be the prize in some mythical dystopian zombie apocalypse where women who aren't overweight won't be able to churn butter because they don't have the arm girth. As if that's going to cause men like myself to all of a sudden think, you know what? She's right. I'd better wife up a fatty because I'm going to need her to churn butter in case of this dystopian zombie apocalypse. Out of here, man. She can try and muddy the waters with Nazis and capitalism economic talk all she wants to. The bottom line here is that she is overweight, and the guys she likes don't like her extra weight, and she's mad about it. Stop whining about not being any man's type and hit the gym. Girth doesn't churn butter, sweetheart. Muscle does. Next video.
So I just broke up with my toxic fiance of 6 years.
Uh-oh.
And I'm wondering if there's any decent guys left out there in the world. So duet this if you think you can do all these things. If you can, and I have my list here, if you can not hit me, not take all my money, not threaten to kill me, not crush prescription pills and snort them, not have a serious drug addiction.
You chose him, sweetheart.
Being
6
denial
years.
about it.
You chose him.
Take away my freedom, dictate where I can work, dictate who my friends can be, take AVOs out on me for when I blow up because you've cheated on me, cheat on me. Threatened to kick me out of my house. All the rest.
Terrible. Yeah, but you stayed with him for 6 years. Oh, yeah.
Everything.
Yeah.
I don't have any work done. I have no Botox, no filler, no fake boobs, nothing. Do boys still like girls like me? I know I'm damaged as from the last guy.
Whoa, language.
But do I have a chance?
Nope. Okay, so let me get this straight. This ex-fiance of yours allegedly put hands on you, stole money from you, threatened to 187 you, snorted prescription medications, had a drug addiction, told you where you had to work, told you who you could or couldn't be friends with, cheated on you, threatened to kick you out of your own house, damaged your car, and was just the most horrible person in the world. And you stayed with this dude for 6 years and was engaged to him. Guys, if this doesn't prove that the better you treat modern women, the worse they treat you and vice versa, nothing will. How many stories do we have to hear where a woman meets a great guy who's respectful, responsible, faithful, and all the rest of that, only for them to ghost said nice guy after 3 dates because she didn't feel a spark or because there wasn't any chemistry, for us to understand that these kinds of women are for recreational use only. On the flip side, how many more stories do we have to hear, like Blondie's here, to understand that men who treat women the worst are the ones who get the most loyalty from girls that belong to the streets? The short answer to this girl's question is yes, you are damaged far beyond repair. Sweetheart, you are a victim of today's culture that programmed you to reward the men who treat you like the gum on the bottom of their shoe and punish men who treat you like a lady. This is the result. Here's another question. If this dude allegedly put his hands on you, held you captive, stole money from you, then why didn't you take out an AVO on him? And by the way, an AVO in Australia is basically the equivalent of a restraining order here in the States. You guys can look that up. So why didn't she go to the cops? Oh, I know. It's because he either didn't do these things to the degree that she's alleging, or she didn't want to because she actually loved this loser. Either way, this woman is disqualified for any kind of relationship outside of bedroom fun. And even then, men who mess with this woman should not stick with her very long. You shouldn't stick around with her very long. It is plainly obvious that this woman probably grew up with a weak or absentee father and was likely raised by a single mother. Women raised by single mothers seek out the kinds of men who are bad for them. Hoes raise hoes, gentlemen. Never forget that. It is a mathematical certainty that this woman is going to get back with this dude. She said she just broke up with him, but then she turned around and did a TikTok video about it, which means their reunion is right around the corner. Any dude who deals with this chick is going to have to understand that her on-again, off-again ex-boyfriend/fiance or whatever he is will always be in her life one way or the other. Like the video on your way out, guys, and if you like this format, drop your boy a super thanks. Till next time.